We have discussed about stable multivibrator. Now we'll just discuss about its mathematical expression. So the period of one cycle is taken as the total charging time. The total period is equal to the charging time plus the discharging time of the capacitor, and frequency is given as 1 divided by T, as we know it already. So it can be given as Tc plus Td. So by this we can find out the frequency. Now if you want to find out the charging time, that is T on period, is my voice audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So expression for the Tc, that is the charging time or T on period. For that again we use the basic formula, which is Vc is equal to Vcc into 1 minus e to the power of minus t by Rc. So here the for the purpose of finding the charging time, we will consider one more equation which is going to give the initial voltage, final voltage of the capacitor that it can reach. So that it can this can be given as Vc is equal to Vf plus Vi minus Vf into e to the power of minus t by Rc. So here Vf is going to give you the final voltage the capacitor can get once it is charged completely, and Vi is the initial voltage on the capacitor. As we know, the initial voltage or the minimum voltage the capacitor can have is 1 by third Vcc. So that is uh, the initial voltage we are having, because whenever a capacitor is going to discharge completely also, we tell completely also, completely the sense it is going to reach 1 by third Vcc only. It will not go to 0. So 1 by third Vcc is the minimum voltage that capacitor will have always. So that becomes the initial voltage of the capacitor. Now, as we know, the initial velocity, initial voltage Vi is 1 by third Vcc, and the final maximum value it can reach is Vcc. To the peak value of Vcc it can reach. So that is the final value we are having. And in order to charge this capacitor, as we have seen in a stable multivibrator, it uses the path of Ra and Rb. So the current will be passing through Ra and Rb such that the voltage across the capacitor will be 2 by third Vcc. Actually, the final voltage what it can reach is Vcc, but it can only reach to 2 by third Vcc because it is going to charge through Ra and Rb. Since Ra and Rb will be having some voltage drops, the capacitor can charge only till 2 by third Vcc. That is what the voltage of the capacitor which is attained. And final voltage that can be reached is Vcc, and after that Vi, that is the initial voltage, it is 1 by third Vcc minus final voltage again Vcc into e to the power of minus t is nothing but we are talking about the charging time. So we substitute Tc divided by resistance. Since the capacitor uses two resistors here, we need to take, and those two resistors are acting like a path for the capacitor to charge. So we'll take Ra plus Rb into C. Through these two resistors, the capacitor is going to charge. So we need to take some of these two resistors. After this, we need to just simplify this. So shift this on the other side. So we will be getting minus 1 by third 3 Vcc is equal to minus 2. After simplifying this, we get minus 2 by 3 Vcc into e to the power of Tc by Ra plus Rb into C. So again here we can cancel whatever we can cancel, and finally on applying the log on both sides, we can get, on applying the log on both sides, we can get T on is equal to, that is charging time is equal to 0.693 into RA plus RB into C. So this is the formula to find the charging time or the on time of the multivibrator. So Tc is the charging time. That charging time itself is considered as the on period of the multivibrator output. The same way, we need to find the discharging time Td. So for to find the discharging time Td, which is the T off period. So T off period is with respect to the multivibrator. Td is the time taken to by the capacitor to discharge. So which is going to give the off period of the multivibrator. Now, as we know, when the capacitor is discharging, it is going to discharge to from its maximum reached value to the minimum value. Already we know that the maximum reached value is 2 by third VCC. This is what it can reach. So we see the capacitor voltage, what it can reach is 2 by third VCC. As we know, since it is charging through RA and RB, it cannot charge completely to VCC. So even when discharging also, it has to discharge from 2 by third VCC to 1 by third VCC, because that is the minimum voltage it can have. So by using this, again substituting in the,
Sir, I have doubt, sir.
yes, tell me.
So the substitution for final voltage,
Hmm.
we have taken it as VCC, but why are we taking 2 by 3 VCC over here?
Where?
In the previous case, sir, for T on,
Hmm.
we have taken the V final equals to VCC, the maximum voltage it can get charged to.
Hmm.
But then in TD, we are taking it as 2 by 3 VCC. Why are we taking VCC there, sir?
This one you're telling?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, that's what I told. 2 by 3 VCC is the maximum it can charge. Actually, we tell it can go till VCC, but it because of the presence of RA and RB, they'll have some drops. It will be RA, RB. After that, we are having capacitors, and here we are having plus VCC. So this plus VC, even though this capacitor is connected through RA and RB, since they have some drops across them, it cannot charge completely to VCC. It can only charge to 2 by 3 VCC. So that's why we are telling this is the possibility what it can have, but actually it will not happen. It can only reach to 2 by 3 VCC. This is final maximum what it can reach, but actually it is getting only 2 by third VCC. This is the maximum it can have. That's why this is the maximum it has reached. This is an ideal case where it can try to reach VCC, but it has reached only 2 by 3 VCC because of the presence of the RA and RB, which has the drop. That's why if the capacitor is charging, it is going to charge to 2 by third VCC. It will not reach VCC. While discharging also, it has to discharge from 2 by third VCC to 1 by 3 VCC.
Got it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now capacitor under the off condition, so this is the actual voltage. Please remember, this is the actual. Okay, this is the actual capacitor voltage. This is final voltage it can reach. Ideally speaking, final voltage it can reach. This is initial voltage what it is having right now. This is again final voltage what it can reach. See, final voltage it can reach means it might be in charging in T on time, it is towards the peak value. In discharging, it is towards the lowest value. See, if the final value in the on time is plus VCC means the same concept if you are applying in the off period, what will be the final voltage? In off period, it is discharging.
So it'll be 1 by 3 VCC.
I'm asking what VF, not about VC.
0, sir.
0. So that is actually expected, because if we are telling it is discharging, it will discharge completely. But because of the designing of RA and RB, because of the RA and RB values, we are not allowing it to discharge to 0. At the same time, we are not allowing it to charge to VCC. So we are making it to work between this. That's what I told in the morning class. It is swinging between this. It can go to plus 2 by 3 VCC, or it can come to 1 by 3 VCC. It will be not allowed to cross that level, or it is not allowed to go below this level of 0 or 1 by 3 VCC. So keeping this in mind, now if I substitute same equation we are going to take here. So when we take here, VC is 1 by 3 VCC. This is what actually it is going to attain. This is the actual voltage it is going to attain under discharging condition. VCC is equal to final voltage. In off period, what will be the final voltage that can be attained? So the final voltage that can be attained is, it can go to 0. It can, but it will not. So that's why we will put 0, because it is the ideal case we are considering. 0 plus, again, initial voltage. What was the initial voltage it was having when it started dropping down? When it started discharging, what was the initial voltage?
2 by 3 VCC.
2 by 3 VCC. See, this is the fine. This is what it has reached. Now from this point only it is discharging, right? So now for the off time, this becomes the initial voltage. So it is 2 by 3 VCC minus 0, because final voltage VF means the voltage it can reach 0. So again, e to the power of minus TD by, here you should remember one thing, we will take only RB, not RA plus RB, because if you just go back to the diagram, if you unstable multivibrator diagram, if you have the book with you, you can just look in 322, or if you have written the circuit diagram of unstable multivibrator using IC 555, the internal diagram what we are having, just look into that. See, in order to charge this capacitor, the current has to flow through RA, RB, and then it has to come to VCC. But in order to discharge, usually through which component does the capacitor is going to discharge? Through which component the capacitor is going to discharge? As we have seen in monostable, astable.
Inductor, sir.
Inductor. Where you have inductor here?
A transistor, sir.
Transistor. Please tell me which is that multivibrator I want to learn.
No, sir, sorry.
Okay. So we are going to, the capacitor is going to discharge through transistor, right? So this transistor is connected after RA, right? It is connected after RA. So when for the charging, the current has to flow through RA, RB, then it has to reach VC, the capacitor. For discharging, do you think the current has to go to RA and come back to the transistor? RA has to go to RA, this current from the capacitor. Okay, let me write it neatly. This is RA, RB, and this is our capacitor. Capacitor we are having, which is having voltage VC. So now here we are connecting the transistor. To charge this capacitor, we need plus VCC. So the current was flowing through RA, RB, and it was reaching this capacitor. Now when it is going to discharge, as we know, the capacitor is going to discharge through the transistor. Now tell me whether the current can go directly like this, or it has to even cover RA and come back to transistor.
It can go
It can directly go to transistor, sir.
Right? It will directly go to transistor. So the charging path is RA, RB. Discharging path is
Only through RB.
only through RB. So that's why we are only taking RB here. Don't get confused. Here we have taken RA plus RB because charging it takes this path. For discharging, it only takes this path. So you have to write RB, and instead of TC, you should write TD. Now, after this, we need to just again the simplification, whatever we did in the last case. So after simplifying it, we will be getting 0.693 RV into C. This gives the T off time. Now, we obtained the charging time and discharging time. The charging time is going to give the on time, and the discharging time is going to give the off time. So the total cycle is given as T is equal to TC plus TT. So that is equal to 0.693, since it is common, RA plus 2 RB. Since RB is common here also and here also. So 2 RB into C. So frequency can be obtained as 1 by T is equal to, so if you take 1 by 0.693, it will be 1.44 divided by RA plus 2 RB into C. So duty cycle, percentage duty cycle, all those things we are going to find. So duty cycle, to find the duty cycle, expression for the duty cycle is the total on time divided by the total time. That is charging time by total time into 100. So that gives you 0.693 into RA plus RB into C divided by 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C. That will get cancelled to 100. So finally, we are having an equation RA plus RB divided by RA plus 2RB into 100. From this, we can find the percentage duty cycle. It can be varied from 50% to 100%. So on time by total time means it is going to give to what amount of time the multi vibrator is in on condition. That is, output is in on condition, and from that we can find out to what duration does the output is in off condition. If you are telling a duty cycle is 60%, that means the on time is 60%, off time is 40%, like that. 50% means then it is going to produce a square wave. So by just adjusting these duty cycle values, we can get the desired waveforms. Whatever we want a square wave or whatever kind of waves, a rectangular wave or anything, we can just adjust From this, and we understood that RA and RB are the important components which are going to decide the duty cycle. So this is about the astable multi-vibrator. Then we need to study some applications of the astable multi-vibrator. So in the applications of astable multi-vibrator, so totally we are having three application. In that, the first one is square wave oscillator, or generator, square wave generator, and the next one is Smith trigger using IC 555. This is also an circuit which is going to generate the square waves based upon the reference signals which we are giving. And after that, we are having 555 timer as a voltage controlled oscillator. That is, it is the VCO. In short, we call it as VCO. So these are the three applications which we are going to study in this. So before going on to this different applications, let us do some problems which are based on the portions which we have covered till now. So once we are done with these applications, so this chapter will be over. Then we'll go to the next part. Okay, let us take a problem. So basically, here in this chapter, there are many direct substitution problems. Okay. The first problem, a 555 timer is configured to operate in astable mode with RA is equal to 5 kilo ohm, RB is equal to, okay, we'll change it. This is 6 kilo ohm and this is also 6 kilo ohm, and C is equal to 0.01 microfarad. Determine the frequency of the output and duty cycle. So this is the question which has been given. So just now we derived some equations. Now that equations we are going to use here to find out the output frequency and the duty cycle. So we have the formula just now which we have derived for configured to operate in an astable mode. So for this we are having F is equal to 1 divided by T, which is equal to 1.44 divided by RA plus 2RB into C. So this it depends upon the calculation and assumptions you take. It will be 1.4 fixed. The last number will be some of you might get 4, some of you might get 5. Both are correct. 1.44 or 1.45, both are correct. No need to worry about that. Yes. Now substitute the value RA, RB and C value is given. So substitute the values and let me know the frequency value. Yes, Nivedita, tell me the answer for this.
Sir, I got 8, sir.
8, what 8? 8 ohm. 8 ohm
Frequency.
frequency. 8
Hertz.
kilohertz. 8 hertz.
Kilohertz, sir. K.
Okay. Exactly 8 kilohertz.
I'll do again, tell, sir.
Okay. What about others?
8 kilohertz, sir.
Okay. Yes. Duty cycle. RA plus RB divided by RA plus 2RB. Yes, Ninada, tell me the answer for this.
Yes, sir, I'm doing. $66.6, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All of you have got the same?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next. The next, design an astable multi-vibrator using 555 timer for a frequency of 2 kilohertz and a duty cycle of 75%. Assume okay, we'll do one thing. We'll make it 65%. 75% I have given in the book. Let us make it 65% and let us try. C1 is equal to 0.1 microfarad. Okay. Now, so design means always we know that we need to find the resistance values. So in order to find the resistance values, let us first take the given F is equal to 2 kilohertz and the duty cycle is 65% and C1 is C is given, it is 0.1 microfarad. So now we need to find RA and RB. To find the RA and RB, obviously we need to use our equations, whatever we have just discussed, the duty cycle equations and the other the charging and discharging time equations. So let us take the duty cycle equation. We know that D is equal to RA plus RB divided by RA plus 2RB. So that is equal to 0.65. So we have got 0.65. Do we have any fraction which is equal to 0.65? This is one method which we can go. If you know any fraction which is
13 by 20, sir. 13 by 20.
13 by 20.
15 by 20.
So 13 by 20. After that, now you cross multiply and simplify it. 20 RA plus 20 RB is equal to 13 RA plus 26 RB. Yeah. Simplify this and let me know the relationship between RA and RB. Seven RA, that is equal to 6 RB.
by 7.
6 RB, sir.
Yeah. So RA will be equal to 7
6
by
by
6
7.
RB, right? This is the relation which we have obtained. Again, for the charging time, we are having the equation T is equal to 0.693 into RA plus RB into C. And for this T, we know the frequency that we can substitute. The
So
point,
it'll be 6
yeah,
by 7 RB, sir, not 7 by 6.
okay, 6 by 7. RA is equal to 6 by 7 RB. Okay, so now 6 by 7 RB plus RB into C, and this is 2 kilohertz we are having. So just substitute that 2 into 10 to the power of 3. Yeah, now simplify the things.
So we get RA as 21.6 kilo ohm, sir.
RA as
21.6 kilo ohm.
21.6 kilo ohm. Yeah, what about others? Any other value, or are you getting the same value? Just simplify this, add it, and cross multiply. C value is also known, 0.1 microfarad. Just add this to
Sir, and I got RB as 25.2 kilo ohm.
okay. Yeah, all of you got same or any different answer? Anybody got the answer?
So I got different, sir.
How much you got?
3.88 kilo.
Yes, sir. 3.88.
Yes, sir. 3.88.
3.88.
RB is 3.9 kilo ohms, sir.
RB is 3.9 kilo ohm. Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
RB itself is 3.88.
RB is 3.88. Okay. RA.
Yes, sir. RB is 3.88. RA is 3.9.
Okay. So majority of you have got this answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's Neeraj, check your answer once.
RA will
Yes,
be
I'm checking, sir.
3.32, sir.
3.32.
32.
Okay. RA
Yes, sir.
3.32.